As you know, I'm not particularly excited about the Ukraine part, but in context of a overall new rethinking of this and people putting their guns down with Russia, I've always felt that some sort of alignment with Russia is absolutely central to the takedown of the Chinese Communist Party. If we have allowed what we've allowed for the last 5 years since Biden got in, Biden drove the Chinese Communist Party, Beijing, the mullahs in Tehran and Persia, Russia, the KGB, and Erdogan. They made that movie about me called The Brink, I think in 2018 or 2018, where they went around the world when I was in Western Europe trying to begin this populist movement that you're seeing coming to fruition today, including meeting with the Alternative for Deutschland people at the time. And, Alternative for Deutschland at the time, I think was at 3% or 4%. When I met with Giorgia Meloni, she was at 3%. She headed up a small party called the Sons of Italy. The only person that had gotten real traction was Nigel Farage, who we had worked with shoulder to shoulder on Brexit back in 2015 and 2016. In fact, Raheem Kassam, our beloved Raheem Kassam, had actually left Breitbart London for a while and went and ran the campaigns for Nigel. My point is that these have been a long time in coming to fruition. There is a possibility that you could set the world on a path from the beginning stages of the kinetic part of the Third World War. You could set it on a path to actually peace and prosperity. That's what President Trump's trying to do. That's why it takes a leader of his caliber and strength. And we don't agree on everything, but I absolutely understand and 1,000,000% agree with what he's trying to do directionally. And it's a little bit breathtaking because you're hitting on so many different strategic nodes. To wit, they've just announced that on March 4th, the 25% tariffs in Mexico kick in. And I've been given interviews in Canada nonstop on Canadian TV, and I keep telling people he's not trolling you. When he talks about the 51st state, and I said you should take it as an honor. The people in the United States don't, sit there and go, hey, we'd love to have these folks here as a state. That hasn't happened since Alaska in Hawaii. 70 years ago, 60 years ago. So, and it's going to get their attention geoeconomically when they see the premium they have to pay to get into this market, and put on top of that the geostrategic necessity of what's going to happen in the Arctic. Is that now is a great power struggle and what we call the new great game, or the great game of the 21st century, that is kind of replicates what happened between the Russian Empire and the British Empire in Afghanistan and Persia in the 19th century around India. So President Trump is thinking in 5 different directions and negotiating the entire time. However, you've always got to be careful. And I know we've got Senator Rubio, I think, is doing a great job. Bessent's doing a great job. You got Mike Waltz over there. You got Steve Witkoff, the kind of head of the negotiation, Vice President Vance. He's got a pretty good team on top of this. In fact, a damn good team. I think the cabinet, and I could argue this, I think the cabinet he has is the best cabinet a president's had, of people that are action-oriented and can get things done since Lincoln's war cabinet.